So you thought shark attacks would only happen in Australia? Or some other places, but never in Europe? Well, then the movie Year of a Shark, original title L'année du requin, will just show you how wrong that assessment was. If you want to find out more about this, then follow me for this short review video. Maja is a gendarme in a small coastal town in the southwest of France. With her job being mainly guarding the coast, she is often called out for incidences on the sea. This morning she is called by some tourists who thought their boat was attacked by a shark. But of course that never happens in that area, so she does not really believe that, until she is attacked herself, which in turn now is nobody believing her. But as this is not a French remake of Jaws, soon proof will follow and the coast is actually closed down. With Maja being just a few days shy of her early retirement, she is told to not intervene and let the professionals take care of it. But her pride lets her try to catch the shark and she is actually successful. But as we are now living in a more socially conscious time, Maja is not killing the shark but actually catching it. But the shark is escaping from his confinement and is on the loose again. After this happens, half of the community is now hating on her because she didn't kill the shark when she had the chance. And now he is out again and killing people. Being then actually retiring, and after being assaulted by some relatives of one of the shark's victims, her pride is triggered and she again sets out to find the shark, and this time ended for good. Okay, this one was a little bit weird to me because it really never decided what it wanted to be. It started out as a horror comedy where it was mildly amusing and actually promising, and one would have thought that this movie can be quite good, especially since this is the second movie from the directing duo that is shown at the movie festival, with 2020's Teddy being a mildly amusing werewolf comedy that wasn't great but promising. So I was curious to see how far they have developed and if that new one would be any good. But as I mentioned, the movie never really decided which way to go, because after starting as a horror comedy, then there was a scene where Maja gets violently attacked and is roughed up to the point where you would have actually thought that this now will become either a legal drama or a social study or something, because all the fun was gone. It just turned so serious and everyone was blaming her that they actually even had to move somewhere else just not to be harassed. And after a while I actually thought, okay, then it is now that kind of movie, which is also okay. But then it switched again and was reversing to being a horror movie with some slight comedic edges. But it really never had a clear direction. And the saddest part is that the fact that she was assaulted ultimately had no consequence at all. The attackers weren't arrested, there was no retaliation. You really didn't know what that was all about and why they even put that in the movie. And also Maja's husband, Thierry, was always being supportive, while she was completely ignoring his wishes. He wanted her to stay out of it from the beginning, and would she have listened, then she would have been retired and it would have all been not her problem at all. And her treatment of her husband at the end of the movie, even though it was meant lovingly, almost resulted in abuse. And again, it had no consequence, and while before she was blamed for deaths that she was not responsible for, her solo mission actually cost someone their life. But then there was no consequence for that. So the whole movie was really weird, the whole story was inconsistent. Even the shark escaping was so ridiculous that you thought that cannot be meant seriously. But it was. Because at that point the movie has already left the comedic angle. Again, it was just so unbalanced that you could not enjoy it. And also with the main character, Maja, treating her husband so weirdly and just being controlled by her pride that has landed her in trouble before and she just didn't learn from it, was really frustrating. And at the end of the movie, all sympathy for her was completely lost and you would have even wished that her husband would leave her or would have died due to the abuse that she has imposed on him, just so that she is getting punished for it, but nothing. It was then a happy ending, so as you can see, the movie really didn't do it for me. And with that being said, let's get to the rating, but before we do so, let me ask you to like and share this video if you enjoyed it so far. And if you are no subscriber yet, maybe consider to change that. By also hitting the notification bell, you will get a heads up for most of my new videos. Now the rating. Okay, let's really make it short this time. As you have heard, I wasn't really convinced by this movie, so it was not average, it was not even okay, it was a so-so movie. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was weak and a waste of time, but it is definitely one that you can skip, so I go with a score of 3 out of 10, which is one of the lowest scores for the movies of the Fantasy Filmfest this year that I have handed out. If I remember correctly, none of the remaining ones will be scoring lower than this one, but I guess you will find out soon, because there are a lot of more reviews to come. What about you? How do you deal with movies who are constantly changing their direction and don't follow a clear path? I mean, sometimes it is fun, like with From Dusk Till Dawn, but Quentin Tarantino, this directing duo, is not. Did you see this movie and did it work for you, or was it just me? Do you have this movie on your to-watch list? And if so, after watching it, just let me know how you liked it. Whatever it is, just let me know in the comments. So much for now, see you next time, and thanks for watching!